having me at this Grow Your Business. This is my first Grow Your Business, although I did do a workshop here last year, my very first. This is my first Grow Your Business where I'm hosting, so this is really great. And to follow Richard, I'm not that funny. So let's dive in though. Just a little bit about myself. So I work with small businesses on their social media strategy. I do one-on-one coaching and workshops to teach you how to use social media as a selling tool. I also host workshops on diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace because it's very important, and I often tie the two together because they do overlap. So today, well, I want to show you this first. Before I did any of this, I actually worked in senior living. It's why I love seniors so much. It's where I got my start. But before I was working in corporate, I was driving a bus. And I was an activities person. And I saw, that's why diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important too. I saw the way we treat older people in the workplace too. And overall, we have to do better. So I just always bring that to the forefront because one thing that we all have in common, hopefully, is that we're going to grow old. And we want people to love and respect us. We want to feel nurtured. We want to feel needed. And so I always want that to be at the forefront of your minds. Treat people with respect, no matter who they are. So today we're going to talk about a social media strategy and why you need one. We're going to talk about some facts. We're going to talk about strategy. Yes, you need one. We're going to talk about creating content calendars. We're going to talk about what works, what images to use, engagement tools, and then we're going to take a test drive because we're going to go really fast, and I'm going to give you some tools that you can use to help build your social media presence, and I want to make sure that you understand them. So by show of hands, how many of you are currently managing your business's social media page? Raise them high. Woo-hoo. All right. How many of you are comfortable doing it? That's what I really want to know, because sometimes we get pushed into a role and we don't get any training on it at all, and we have to be really good at it. That's why I asked you that. So hopefully by the time you leave today, you'll have some new strategies that you can use, and you can go out feeling confident that even if you aren't an expert, you know how to get what you need to get done, and you know how to check to see if what you're doing is working. So first, a few facts here. So 72% of the American population uses social media. 72%. So when people tell you, I don't need a Facebook page, I don't need a LinkedIn page, I don't need to be on social media, I need you to tell them, well, the facts don't lie, and 72% are on social media, and so that's an opportunity for you to do some advertising while you're there too. Facebook has over 2 billion users. That target group is 18 to 29 years old. So if you have people that are in that demographic, why aren't you there? Facebook also has some older people there too. You may not know this, but seniors are the fastest growing demographic on Facebook. 35 and up like Facebook. If you're a Gen X person, 9 times out of 10, you are on Facebook, whether you like to be or not. That's where you are. 72% of Instagram users are aged 13 to 17. So if you have a business and you're pouring all of your energy into Instagram, I'm always going to ask you first is, are you looking at your analytics? Do you know if all the effort you're using is actually working? Are you hitting the people that you want to hit? Twitter is on decline, although some people still really love it. 330 million monthly users. That's still a lot, even in decline. Brett, you said you love Twitter. Do you love it for business or do you love it for personal use?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both? Yeah. So the statistics say for business use, it's really declined, but people are going there more and more for personal use. They are.
More and more.
I'll tell you why I like Twitter. Because personally, my social media pages are weak because I don't like it. I do it for business, but I get on Twitter. And one of the reasons I really like Twitter, and another reason that a lot of other business folk like Twitter, is because you can connect with people there using hashtags in a way that you can't anywhere else. Even with Instagram. Just a quick story. Before I did this, I told you I worked in corporate. Well, I was also a PR and media person. I did not have a budget to get some of these software programs that kind of give you all of these reporters by their names, and you have to pay this monthly fee. It's thousands of dollars a year. What I did was I went to Twitter, and I started putting in hashtags. pitch me, hashtag pitch me. And what I found was when I put in hashtag pitch me, I found all of these journalists who were saying, this is my contact information, give me your stories. And the very first story I ever got as a corporate person, as anybody, because I had never done any PR before, was a story that I got aired on HLN twice. And that came from Twitter. So I want you to think about that when you say, social media doesn't work for me. Why would I use it for business? 81% of YouTubers, 18 to 29 years old. That doesn't mean if you're not over 29, you're not on there, but I'm saying YouTube is really cleaning up with that demographic. 41% of TikTok users are teens. How many of you are on TikTok? By show of hands.
I have to watch my feed.
I was just going to say, you've got teenagers. You've got teenagers. You've got teenagers. So, yeah, parents, some of these platforms you need to be on just because you have to be knowledgeable, right? Some more facts really quickly. You see up here at the top, this is Pew Research. Who said Pew Research earlier? Live on it. Get your facts from there. They have to be vetted. I love Pew Research. And Pew Research says YouTube is still at the top, but Facebook is very close behind. This is why if you have a business, you want to be on Facebook. Your people may not even be on Facebook, your age demographic. But in the same way you need a website, you have to think about how people search and the lifetime, the lifespan of a search. What happens first? I find out about a business. First thing I'm going to do is probably go to their website, although Facebook is a close second. Once I go to that website and I figure out what's on there, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for those social media icons. If I get to the bottom of your website and you don't have them, I think you're not serious about your business, because if you are, I know that you're trying to pick me up on Facebook. I know you're probably trying to pick me up on LinkedIn, and you better have a website. If you don't have a website, I'm going to say start there first. I turn people away sometimes because why would I help you with social media when you don't have the very basics? So I'm going to stop for a second and tell you, if you do not have a website, and if you do not have a website where you are actually looking at your analytics, we spend a lot of time creating content. I know I do. So if you spend a lot of time creating content and you're putting content up on your website and you're not even going and looking to see how it performs, you're probably wasting your time. Does everybody understand why I'm saying that and what that means? Because I see a lot of puzzled faces. Yes? No? Let me explain it. So if I spend an hour, even an hour every couple days, creating content that I'm going to put up on my website, and I send it out to everybody in my contact list, right? Maybe I have 500 people that I'm going to send it to. If I spent an hour there, and then I go back 2 days later and open up those analytics, because your website should have some analytics with it, and I found out of 500 people, only 10 people opened up what I sent, I wasted my time. That was an hour I could have spent doing something else, because I know that people aren't looking at what I'm sending them. Does that make sense now? Use your time efficiently. Brett talked about that. Figure out what works. We spend a lot of time on social media, whether for personal or business, and if it's not yielding a return, you are wasting your time. Okay?
Right now with Facebook, some of the stuff, because I've been advertising like every other day, a lot of the times it'll pop up, say, bring up Facebook, and I hear this little thing on it. Hey, this is performing better than your last. You want to boost it.
Yep.
And it actually gives me numbers on there, same thing.
Yep.
You got a 35% increase, or you got a 25% increase.
Absolutely. Look at those analytics. If you're not looking at your analytics, you may be wasting your time. You may not even be on the right platform. If you are a service provider like I am, when I started my business more than a year ago, I thought for sure, I'm going to get all this business from Facebook. I know Facebook. I know it very well. My people are not on Facebook. I have a Facebook page because I have to have one as a business owner. All of my business, nearly all of it, comes like this, face-to-face. I get great referrals, but LinkedIn has been the source for me. I get national people that find me from LinkedIn. So know your platform, okay? You'll see all the way down here at the bottom is Reddit, but Reddit is growing. How many of you are using Reddit at all? A little bit? To grab some content off of?
What is that?
Okay. So you can read a lot of blogs from there. So you can put something in the search and then all kinds of information will come up. The thing about Reddit is, again, you have to vet what you're reading, right? Not everything you read is, a credible source. Let's keep going. 250 million users, 7 to 10, are women, ages 25 to 54. I just talked to somebody today and I showed her analytics. Down here, Ida, right? And I said, do you know who your audience is? And we found out that her audience were women who are 35 to 55. Know who your audience is and write to them. Haley? Mm-hmm. Haley said earlier, who's your avatar? You said create one, right? You said we have a little difference of opinion there, although I think we're kind of linear too. She said, she said it might not matter, know who your person is, give them a face. I'm saying you at least have to know this though. Mm-hmm. You at least need to know who's coming to your page. Because if they're not coming to your page, you're wasting your time, and maybe you need to revamp your strategy and what you're writing about. LinkedIn. How many of you are on LinkedIn? And wait a minute, put your hands down for a second. Let me ask it this way. How many of you have a LinkedIn profile? Raise them high. Keep them high if you have a profile and you are a business owner. Raise it high, because I want to see them. Keep it raised high if you are a business owner, you're on LinkedIn, and you are active. That means you are posting at least 3 times a week, which is still pretty pitiful. Look at how it changed. It's pitiful, man. I'm going to tell you, it's pitiful. Because if you can't figure out where to pick up your people from, and by your people I mean the people who will trust you, who will like you, who will purchase from you or buy from you, you are wasting your time. Then you might as well be on LinkedIn or Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram for leisure, because you obviously are not there for business. But I'm going to show you how to be there for business so that you can create. You're not just trying to just create a buzz around what you sell, because if that's all you did, people will come there one time and they never come back. You are trying to create a tribe that understands you, what you are promoting, and they're really listening to you and sharing your content. That is your overall goal. So I'm going to tell you, look at this right here. There's 660 million users on LinkedIn. And I'll tell you, my first large client, the one that really replaced my salary that I made in corporate, was somebody from LinkedIn who I had never met before. They have been following my content. Your content matters, your analytics matter, and you have to figure out where your people are and connect with them there. Don't try to be on every platform, because your people might not be on every platform. Figure out where they are and get really good at that, okay? So why do I need a strategy? That's what people say. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, because if you're waking up every morning to post, you probably aren't doing it. How many of you actually have a strategy? Raise your hand high. Look at how many people are in here. And remember how many people I said were on social media.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do, thanks to her.
Thank you, thank you. So you need a strategy because you need to map out your goals, okay? You want to increase engagement. You want to grow your audience. You want to connect with your partners. You want to turn your followers into brand ambassadors. And what do I mean by that? Yeah. So it's great if I can tell you how great I am, right? You may or may not believe me. What's better is when I have Leland say it for me. What's better is when I have somebody else come on my page and say, thank you for your coaching that you did with me. Robin's done that before. You want to turn your followers into people who share your content, who share your story, and who create trust on your behalf. That is what your goal is. My goal is not for people to come to my page and like something that I posted. I enjoy that. But it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me if you come to my page one time and like something and never come back. What I need is people who come to my page, they like what I do, they pick up what I do, they share it, they comment, they talk to their neighbor about it. That's what you need. That's why you're on social media. That's your goal. And you want to measure your efforts. You can't do any of that without a strategy. How many of you are waking up in the morning and trying to figure out what you're going to post? Don't be shy, because I know it's most of you, because only 4 of you raised your hand about a strategy. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that, because if you're like me, you got Bernadette Diane, who's my beautiful dog, Bernadette Diane, if you don't let her out first thing in the morning, she's gonna pee on your carpet. I don't have time to post. I gotta get her outside. I've got 2 kids. Get out the house. Why did you forget your book bag? I don't have time to post. That's why I have a strategy, because I needed to be on auto. You know what I'm doing? That's why you laughing, because you probably cut your kids out this morning on the way out. You don't have time to try to post. It's true. We don't have time. So you need a strategy. And you need to have it scheduled so that you're not waking up and going, oh my goodness, it's grow your business and I forgot to post about it. You need it scheduled already. Or you need to do what I'm going to do later. Because I'm going to go to Mark's page because I know he's going to put it up. And I'm going to share it. How about that? Because I'm about working smarter, not harder also. But I like to be prepared. So when you're creating your content calendar, who even knows what that is? Do you know? You don't know. I don't want you to answer if you've been to one of my workshops. Or if you've been one of my clients. Although you're really great. So content calendar, does anybody else know what a content calendar is? Tell me. Hal Peterson? Tell me Hal Peterson. You're going to schedule what you're going to post. What's your name? Carol. Say it loud, Carol.
Say which thing loud.
What's a content calendar?
Content calendar is you have a chart of what you're going to post. In fact, you post it and you post dated and everything, so it's scheduled and automatically goes.
That's right. So in the month of March, I'm already looking at April, and I'm creating a calendar that tells me what I need to be posting in April so that I'm not waking up at 6:30 and yelling at Bernadette Diane and tripping down the stairs because I'm also trying to post. I don't have time for Bernadette Diane first thing in the morning. You know how I feel about her though. My girl. Yeah. Bernadette, she says my dog Bernadette Diane is on LinkedIn a lot because she's my only employee. You know, she's got one job, lift the envelopes. Look at me help this stuff out. But listen, she doesn't do that right. Bernie, come on, girl. So when you're thinking about creating this calendar, don't worry, because I'm going to show you what it looks like, or what it shouldn't look like. I'm going to show you. I'm going to always tell you, functional beats fancy. You don't have to go and buy a $50 calendar to help you learn how to post. What you can do is what I do. What I do for myself and what I do for my clients is I go right on to Word. And I say, Word, I need a calendar for the month of April. And it spits it out for me. That's it. That's what I do. It doesn't have to be fancy. Who's looking at it except for you? You just need to have a plan, okay? You want to schedule your post, and we'll talk about where you can do that at. You want to remember fun and important dates. Okay? You don't want to just put on there, like it's Wednesday and here's my Wednesday special. Because maybe you're only going to get those people who come there just on Wednesday, and maybe they won't come at all because it's the same thing every Wednesday, right? So remember fun and important dates. Include CTAs. What are those?
Call to action.
Yes. So when you're posting, your goal is to have somebody do something. Tell them what you want them to do. Sign up for my workshop today. Schedule a coaching today. Do some sit-ups because I know you've been sitting at your desk for 5 hours and it's time to get up and do something for your health. A call to action, whatever it is, you need to be posting those. And you want to engage your community. And a word about engagement. I told you that I'm not driven by the likes, right? I want people to like and love my posts, but I want engagement. So let me tell you really quickly what engagement is and then what it really is. So engagement is, there's a post that I really like, I'm going to hit like, and I might even comment, awesome. That awesome counts as engagement. Because what happens is when you start posting words to somebody else's posts, it does something to the algorithm. And it signals Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you're using. It triggers the social media gods. Oh my goodness, people like this and they're responding. We're going to show it to more people, okay? Let me tell you what your real goal is. It's not just awesome. It's not just that's a cool post. You want 5 words every single time. When somebody responds to anything that you post, you want 5 words. So in your mind, you should be thinking to yourself, how am I going to get people to respond with 5 words? Because when you do that, it tricks the algorithm. Let me tell you what people think. I have a page that has 5,000 followers. So every time I post, 5,000 people are seeing what I post. Lies. How many of you thought that? Nobody thought that? This is the first class ever. Did you think that? Thank you for your honesty. You're not the only one. You just brave. I like you. That's not how it happens. When in reality, what happens is, whatever you post, only 1 to 6% of anything you post is actually seen by the people who follow you. That is very low. But that's the truth. That's why engagement is so important. Because what you post, many people don't see. They never see. That's why you see the same people liking your things, because it's probably the same 10 people that Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn show it to. So if you want that reach to go further and you don't want to pay for ads, which is really what you need to do, I'm telling you the truth, that's what they're designed to do. You need to figure out how to get people to comment on your post, 5 words or more. So how might I do that? Maybe I'm a Michigan fan. And maybe so maybe I'm gonna start a war with somebody that's a State fan, and I'm gonna say, so and so is my favorite player, and this is why. Who's yours? What's she gonna do? She's gonna come up under there and she's gonna put her favorite State fan, she's gonna put their number, she's gonna put where they grew up, she's gonna give me 5 words or more every time, and I'm gonna say thank you. Because I just got reached because of her. So that's what you want. Your goal every time. I know you want the likes, I know you want the loves. I want you to love words even more.
I have a question. So if she thinks she writes her 5 words, does that engagement mean that she's getting
It
more
means I am.
engagement, or other people are getting that?
It means I'm going to use Facebook because that's what we're all more familiar with. It means that when Facebook sees that people are coming under my post and commenting 5 words or more, they're going to continue to show to people in my network. So remember, we're pretending that I have 5,000, right? 5,000 followers, but only 1 to 6% are showing organically, right? What's going to happen is when I post and people start engaging, Facebook is going to say, this is a good post, we're going to show it to more people. That's what your goal is. Does everybody understand that? That's what it is. So when you're talking about engagement, I want you to stop thinking so much about that like or that love or that ha-ha, whatever it is. I want you to start thinking in terms of, how am I going to get people to comment? And even more than that, how am I going to get people to share? That's what you want. So here's an example of a calendar I put together. Every month, I put a free calendar up on my website, and it just helps people get started on their posts. Because right now, you don't have anything, right? So every month, I go and I make this little generic one. It's got call to actions on it. It's got some national days. It's got some engagement prompts on there. This is made in Word. That's it. You don't even have to make it because I give it to you free every month. And then what you do is you look at the entire month and you start saying, all right, I know that St. Patrick's Day is going to be on the 17th. So that means at the beginning of the month in March, I already scheduled that post. So that I'm not waking up on St. Patrick's Day morning trying to post something about my business and tying St. Patrick's Day and somehow to my business. Does everybody understand that? Especially when you're at the bar. You said it, I did not. It does open at 7 o'clock on St. Peter's. We know that. I do know that. Create something people want to share. I just told you that's your overall goal, right? It's the words, but honestly, what I want is for people to really like so much what I have to say that they're willing to share it with their network. Why is that important for me? It gets my name out. Who said that? Yep. It gets my reach. So now, I don't just get the benefit of my network, I get the benefit of yours too. And that's something I didn't have to pay for. Let me tell you something. If you still think that social media is free, it's not. It's not. If you are trying to build a business, it's designed. The analytics, the algorithms, all of that are designed to make it harder for you to get organic reach because these companies want you to pay for ads. So sometimes there's no way around that. I'm going to always tell people that I work with, you need a budget. Your budget could be $50 a month. Maybe that's all it is. But $50 a month on a paid ad will get you further than $0 a month. Okay?
Is that why you see, I'm sorry, Diana.
No, Oh, go ahead.
Where you see like on a Facebook, the newsfeed, you'll see like the company and then
Promoted.
the sponsor.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. Because otherwise, they would have never got the benefit of having you see their stuff.
Okay.
So that's why. And people think the ads have to be really expensive. They don't have to be. But you have to be strategic in how you do it. Mark just said a little while ago, he'll see something that comes up and it'll say, do you want to promote this post? Do you want to boost it? I'm going to tell you don't ever boost. I'm going to tell you why. Because ads perform much better. You can put the same amount of money on ads that you do on boost. And when you literally create an ad, you get to set parameters that you don't get to set when you boost in Facebook. Okay? It doesn't have to be expensive though. Create something that people want to share. Let's talk about choosing content. So first of all, you have to understand your platform. The same way I post on Instagram is not the same way I post on LinkedIn. So I'm not two different people. I'm myself wherever I post. But the type of words I use, how I use them, even how long I post for, how long the actual copywriting is, varies from platform to platform. So you need to know. Robin, where do you think your people are at? I'll tell you where people are at, but I'm gonna wait till after you tell me. Yeah, so for D-Profile, where do you think most of your people are at? Where you Facebook. And LinkedIn. Why do you say LinkedIn?
Because you taught me.
Dang it, I keep picking on people that I know I have these. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why her people are on LinkedIn. First of all, just really quickly, tell everybody what you do so they'll understand why I'm saying LinkedIn.
I am the marketing director at the Profile Media Station, so we're trying to get people to come to our site.
Yes.
LinkedIn.
So the reason that she wants to be on LinkedIn and not just Facebook is because if I want large companies to advertise with me, they are gonna be on LinkedIn, they're not gonna be on Facebook. When they're on Facebook, they're on there to look at their grandkids and their kids, they're not there for business, okay? So know your platform. Michaela, you have a cleaning business, right?
Yeah.
So maybe what you're saying to yourself is, I need some corporate sponsors. I want some corporate clients. So what I'm gonna do if I'm you, and I have a client, maybe I'm cleaning offices, I'm gonna make sure that I post that I clean offices, because I know that people in corporate places are gonna be on LinkedIn, and they're gonna say to themselves, yeah, we lost our lady.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I'm on that.
Yes, LinkedIn. So know your platform, and not just your platform, know your audience. I just showed you by age where some folks are, but I'm telling you that Facebook is still the fastest growing demographic for older people, so that's anybody 40 plus, but really 65 plus has really taken a sharp uptick. So I worked in senior living, I told you that, and I've been saying for a long time, we need to be serious about Facebook. And in the beginning, people would say like, well, seniors aren't there. First of all, they are there. And secondly, even if they aren't there, who do you think is that is influential in their lives? Their kids. Their kids are there. Their grandkids are there. So if I know that my grandma lives by herself, and I'm worried about her living by herself, and I see an ad for American House, I'm picking on American House because that's where I came from too. I'm gonna see that, and I may say, Grandma, guess what? They're having DSO there next Thursday. Do you wanna go see a show? And I'm gonna take her there because I know she's also gonna get a tour. So think about who your audience is, think about who's important to that audience, and then figure out what's the best platform for you to be on, okay? When you're there, you wanna do more than sell, and this is why. If all you do is sell on your page, people will come there for what they need and they'll never come back. If you give them something else, they will come back. If you give them a little bit of inspiration, if you post some videos that might be informative for them, we'll talk about some things that you can do. But you want to do more than sell, okay? Maybe you want to highlight some of the people on your team. People love to know who they're working for and who they're working with. So showing pictures of your entire team together, people like that. And if you aren't sure what works, go back and look at your analytics, okay? Go back and look at your posts for the last month.
You gotta go.
Okay.
You gotta get some money.
You can look at those analytics and you can say to yourself, okay, here's my reach, here's how many people like this post, here's how many people engage with this post. Look at your analytics because they tell you the story. Once you find something that works, rinse and repeat. Okay? Curated and original content. You want both. Who knows what curated content is? It's somebody else's, but it's credible. It's credible. So sometimes I share stuff from, I like social media marketing world. I get some good stuff from there. Sometimes I share stuff from Pew Research. You want to share content that resonates with your audience and with your business, and you want to share it to your page for 2 reasons. First of all, you want to have good content. But second of all, what do you think is going to happen when I take somebody else's content and I share it to my page? They're going to get a notification, right? And what are they going to do when they get that notification? They're going to come look at my page. They're going to say, who's sharing my information? And they're going to come to your page. And they're probably going to like that post because it's theirs. And they're probably also going to comment on it. And I told you that that is your overall goal, right? And you want to keep it interesting. You don't want to just sell. We talked about that. But what are some other things you could be posting on your page that still resonate with your business? Successes. What else? Process?
Yep.
Tell me what you mean.
If I cook, then I'm gonna show them the meal how I
Yes.
cook it.
So is that what your business is?
It will be a part of it.
Okay. So you would be showing yourself preparing some of your meals. Maybe you want to make a quick video. Exactly. And maybe your platform for you, because what you're doing is so visual, you really want to think about being on Instagram before you think about being anywhere else. Okay? Yeah. And use those hashtags. So what works? This is what you care about right here. Let's talk about the kind of stuff that works for your business and your pages. Original and curated content, we just talked about why, because credible content works for people. They want to know the source that they're getting it from. Video is still outperforming everything else. So I don't like to do videos. Brett loves to do videos. I don't. I like to be like this, but to have this, I don't like it. But I know it works for my business. So guess what I did? I found another way to post videos where I don't have to be in them, but I can still share my content. So videos work. There are lots of apps, and we're going to talk about some of them under tools that will help you really create commercial style, really professional looking videos for your business. And people will say, well, who did that for you? I did it myself. Video works. Events. How many of you have websites where you put your events up, but you never even think to share that information on your Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram pages? You have to think. Your audience may not be the same in all of these different places. So maybe the same people I have who are coming to my website, maybe they aren't the same people who are on my LinkedIn page. So I need to make sure that I'm sharing my information across platforms, okay? If you're having an event, don't just leave it on your website or send it out to your email list. Post it on these native Facebook events places that you can do that for free, okay? You want to ask questions and polls. Why would I tell you to ask questions? Because you need those 5 words back. So think about questions and polls and how they might help you. Memes and GIFs still work really well, still get lots of engagement. We'll talk about where you can get some of those, but I still love Jiffy. I love to go and get funny memes. I love to post them. I don't know, maybe a few months back, they started really performing really well on LinkedIn. So this is the other thing, like people will say, well, LinkedIn is not Facebook. It's not. However, you need to still make sure that you're being yourself and authentic. And if humor is one of the ways that you reach people, why would you not translate that to LinkedIn? Of course you can. Okay? Inspiration. How many of you first thing in the morning, you go and you find something inspirational on Facebook or Instagram, you like it and you share it? Why don't you be the author of that stuff so that people will come to your page and like and share your inspirational words that you're posting? Okay? Specials. When you have specials going on in your businesses, post them there. Now, you don't have to sell all the time, but when you have something special going on, if I've got a problem with occupancy, first of all, I'm not going to say I have a problem with occupancy, But what I will say is, stop in and tour today. Stop in and tour today. Come on over and have lunch on us. We've got great entertainment today. Come on over and we'll give you a tour. Post your specials. Lifestyle photos. People want to see pictures of what's going on in your business. So when you have a client, you have a great client who refers you, who gives you a great testimony, take a picture with that person. Take a picture with that person and put it up there. That's a lifestyle photo, and people love to see something that's not just stock images. And there's a time and place for stock images, and we'll talk about where to get some of that from. Pet pics. I told you about Bernadette Diane. Everybody loves her. Some of my highest performing posts have to do with little Bernie D. Post pictures of your pets because people love them, and not everything has to be tied to your business, but you can tie everything to your business, just with a little creativity. Post pictures of your clients, your customers, your team members. When somebody puts up a Google review about you, slap that thing on a background and put it up on your page. Because it doesn't matter when I say I'm good. It matters when you say I'm good. So when somebody leaves a review for you somewhere, don't just leave it on Google where maybe some people will see it. Put it on all of your platforms where you know people will see it, okay? And there go your reviews. Any questions so far? All right, let's talk about some of my favorite tools. I have to tell you too, I have a problem with my ears and my balance, so looking this way and looking that way. If I fall, just come on and pick me up. I'll keep going. That's why I'm holding on to this table. I'm really a little bit disoriented. Yeah.
It's hard to read it.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah. Okay, if I fall, pick me up. That's all. All right, tools to use. How many of you are using Canva? Come on, write it down right now. Canva. Everything that you're seeing today, if you've gone to any of my pages, if you've seen any of my videos, if you've seen any of my presentations, I do all of my own marketing and I do it all using Canva. Okay? Canva is free. It does have a paid option. It's $12. Let me tell you something. I like my money in my pocket. So I'm the one that told you about all the free stuff because I know you like your money in your pocket. So I try to use as many free or cost-effective, low-cost tools as I can to help me run my business. I am my marketer. I am my workshop speaker. I do it all. This helps me. Ripple and Biteable. There's another one that I will never put down in writing because the person who told me about it asked me not to, but she never said I couldn't tell anybody verbally. So there's another one. I want you to write it down. It's called Lumen, Lumen, with the number 5. Don't say anything about who told you about it. Lumen 5.
About what?
Lumen 5, I'm going to tell you, Lumen 5 puts together really great commercials. Lumen 5 is free. It has a bunch of both stock images and videos that you can use to put together to make entire commercials. Most of my marketing, anything that I do that has to do with a workshop, those kind of videos, I make with Lumen 5. Ripple and Biteable are also video making, commercial type platforms that you can use. But I will tell you, Biteable is expensive. You know about it. Lumen 5, it even works better. Yeah. Also, Unsplash and Pexels. Anybody using Unsplash or Pexels? Okay, tell us what it is.
It's a platform where you can get free professional stocks,
That's
professional
right.
pictures.
Yep. You can get all your stock images from Unsplash and Pexels for free. So when you're putting together flyers, first of all, stop making flyers in Word, okay? Because everybody knows that's what you're doing. And marketing people, we look at it and we go,
There's also
don't feel attacked. I'm here to help you. We're not using Word anymore, people. We're going to use Canva because it's free, and we're going to get all of our pictures from now on from Unsplash and Pexels. No more are we going to see Word documents with these sharp blocked edges in them where everybody knows you just picked that up off of Google, and you're probably using images you're not supposed to be using, which can get you in a lot of trouble. Okay? We're gonna use Unsplash and Pexels. AutoCap. Brett, you'll love this. Videos, we talked about how videos are still very important. They are getting a lot of engagement, but what happens is when you're doing a video and it doesn't have the captions on the bottom of it, people are scrolling by because we're supposed to be working at our desk, not watching videos. So AutoCap lets you record your video, and then it actually uploads all the text for you. Yep. And so all of the text to whatever you're saying actually plays on the bottom for you. It's really easy. AutoCap. National Day Calendar. That's where I'm getting all those quirky days. So outside of, St. Patrick's Day, you'll get like National Cookie Day. You'll get National Dog Day. You'll get, Chocolate Day. Yeah, Cupcake Day. Go to National Day Calendar. Not only do they have all the fun and quirky kind of holidays, but they have national and weekly observances too. Okay? So throw some of that stuff on your strategy. You want something other than business, right? Photofunya is another one. Photofunya is also free and allows you to upload images. So one of the images, and I'll show you some of these in here in action. One of the ones that I like from Photofunya, it's got this newspaper up, and you can put your own picture on there, and it's like extra, extra, big news. All those kinds of things you can make in Photofunya. Brainy quotes, who's using it? Who knows about it? I'm not coming over there.
That's actually here.
Does anybody on this side of the room know what Brainy quotes is? So Brainy Quotes is actually a platform that's also free. You can put in your favorite person's name, and it'll bring up all the quotes that have ever been cataloged for them. So when you're talking about posting inspiration, get that stuff from Brainy Quote, okay? I recently worked for somebody that did, they have a car dealership, and I was telling them, they were like, well, why don't we post anything inspirational? Well, think of some quotes from Henry Ford and how that can tie into auto, They ended up putting it on their big digital sign. So you gotta get creative, because remember, if all you're doing is selling, people may come there and they may never come back. Hootsuite and Sprout Social. Anybody using either one of those or know what they are?
I used to use it, but we have a free version of it.
Yep, so there is a free version.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yep, so Hootsuite and Sprout Social are actually scheduling platforms. So a lot of you will know, or may have noticed, maybe you haven't, I'm gonna tell you. In places like Facebook, they have what are called native scheduling apps. So there used to be a time when you could go to Facebook and you could get your post already, and at the bottom, you could click down and you can say, I'm gonna schedule this. If that has not gone away for you, it will go away soon. Because now what you're gonna have to use is called Creator Studio. What happens is now, using Creator Studio inside Facebook, you can not only schedule to Facebook, you can also schedule to Instagram. Well, what happens to LinkedIn and Pinterest and Twitter? You can actually use Hootsuite, Sprout Social, and there's a whole other list of them where you can actually schedule your posts ahead of time. So when I schedule in LinkedIn, sometimes I spend a lot of time there. Sometimes I schedule in the moment. A lot of times I will schedule my posts in Hootsuite and Sprout Social. Hootsuite still has a free account. People don't know this, but if you put down Hootsuite /free, you can get a free account, and it lets you have three accounts with their platform. So you don't need Facebook, okay? Because remember, Facebook has a native scheduling, but you may want to use Hootsuite if you post to LinkedIn or Pinterest or anywhere else. Patrick, you were going to say something. That's because I'm hitting you with a lot of content, and I'm trying to get you out of here.
So if you wanted to post, maybe this is wrong, I don't know, I'm learning, to Hootsuite, that would post to all the platforms you're on, so you
Yes.
just make it one.
You can do it all in one place.
Beautiful.
Yep, you can do it all in one place. So you can go ahead on the 31st of March, you can sit down, or on a Sunday afternoon, and you can say, I'm gonna get all my posts done for the rest of the month. You can schedule them all in Hootsuite and let it do all the work for you.
On the free version.
Free version, you're only gonna get 3 of them though. You're only gonna get 3 platforms, not 3 posts, 3 platforms. So maybe you wanna use, for you, I'm talking about because of your industry, maybe you wanna use LinkedIn, you wanna use Instagram, maybe you even wanna use Pinterest, okay? You don't wanna use Facebook and Instagram, or I'm sorry, not Instagram, you wanna use Twitter, you might wanna use Pinterest. That's gonna be it for you because of where your people are. But you're gonna get 3 of them, and you don't wanna use Facebook and Instagram because you already have those through the Facebook platform. Does that make sense? Okay. Jiffy, I told you about that. You can get all of your funny videos. And make sure you're using hashtags. People still do not understand how hashtags work. I'm gonna just give you an example of how I use hashtags on LinkedIn, because people don't realize you can use them on LinkedIn. If you put in right now for LinkedIn in the search bar, hashtag business, LinkedIn will tell you how many people are following that hashtag. That means when I post and I put hashtag business, every month without fail, I'm trending, every month. So I get the benefit of thousands of people who are not following me personally on LinkedIn. They see my content because I use hashtags. So get in the habit of using hashtags, especially with Instagram, especially with LinkedIn. Still important on Facebook, but not as much, okay? This is something that I made using Canva. So when I'm talking about kinds of things you can make to post, I grabbed this image from, I think I got it from Unsplash. I went to Brainy Quotes and I got the quote, and I created the whole thing in Canva. It took me 10 minutes. And it took me 10 minutes because I was on the phone and I kept messing up. Okay? Here's another one. I got this one from Photofunya, and I did this one around the Chinese New Year. Here's another one. I did this when I was still working in senior living. And a lot of people would respond to this, but this was before I knew about the 5 comments. So I wasn't getting 5 comments here, right? Because what was I asking people? How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? What were they doing? Yep, that was it. So I got a lot of engagement, but I know better now, okay? But this is something that I made there. This is, you're not gonna be able to, I don't have time to play this, but I made a commercial, and I made the commercial using Lumen 5, and it played all the way through. It's 30 seconds, got lots of engagement. So Lumen 5 is gonna be something that you wanna use. I use that Robin for D profile. So a picture is worth? Wrong. Everybody thinks that. The actual quote is, a picture is worth 10,000 words. And I cannot stress that enough. When you are putting your pictures up, look at them first. Look at them first. Especially when we were talking about people. Nobody wants a picture of themselves up posted somewhere, which is going to be shared everywhere. People are very mean. Think about what you're posting before you post it. Is your picture clear? Is it centered? If I take a picture over here, the first thing I'm going to tell them is going to seem like really ridiculous, but I'm going to say, take all that crap off the table. Because what happens is people are very judgmental, and they're going to see all that, and they're going to say, you know what, they didn't even have enough sense to clean off their table first. I would never do that to you. I would have you move it first. So let's look at this. This is an actual picture that's on Yelp right now. If you are in marketing, talk to your teams, especially if your primary focus is on people, okay? Because if I see something like this, I'm not coming and eating with you, ever. Ever. It's not gonna happen. This one bothers me, because this one was really close to me when I first got this picture. This picture came to me. I won't say where it came from. But when I talked to the people about this picture, who had posted this picture went up, what they said was, well, he's actually very happy. He was probably happy, but they know him in a different way. And I'm telling you that if I am a person who's looking for a place for my mom or dad to call home, and I see a picture like this, I'm not coming and touring with you. I'm not. because he looks miserable. And beyond that, what really, really upsets me is the bid. Because it's a dignity issue. So I'm telling you, if you work with people, we have to do better in that industry. And guess what? Not old people like bingo, okay? They don't. Like, I like bingo. But not all old people, older people like bingo. So we have to think about the pictures we are posting, and we have to think about the pictures that are going up as though they are pictures of people we love. And who am I trying to reach? And am I doing a good job? This is terrible. It is, and I let them know it's terrible, but I still use this as an example of when that's true. Don't tell me, Patrick, although, listen, put it up, that's what happens. Look at that. Look at that. That's not This is a picture that is up on Yelp right now, okay? And what really is trippy about this is this place got such great reviews, and then somebody puts this picture up, and then it went because all of a sudden people got the wrong idea because of a picture. Okay? They got the wrong. This is like a large. This is a nursing home, though. This was a nursing home, and what's really important, why I always focus on that, you got people who know me know the industry I come from and know that I love that industry. But it's very hard to find really great workers, and so when you do, you want to celebrate, you want to shout it, right? And so they actually got really great reviews, and then somebody put that picture up and it went all the way down, and all people could say was, they don't even care about this, they don't care about that, which wasn't true, but you showed them that was true with this picture. So we have to do better, okay? Look at your pictures. If you can't take a good picture and center it, don't put it up, because it hurts your reputation. It's better not to put it up at all. Let's talk about the do's and don'ts. So when you're posting, please keep it timely. Post within 2 business days of the event or activity. So, you know, Valentine's Day was a long time ago. I don't care about your Valentine's Day dance anymore. Neither does anybody else, because social media is in the moment, right? People like to see stuff as it's happening. So if it's more than 2 days old, don't put it up. Don't post outdated content. Post frequently. You need to post at least 3 times a week. I'm going to tell you 5 days a week, but a lot of you are just starting, so 3 is good. Take quality photos. We just talked about why. Check back often. Review your page. When people are commenting, thank them for that. Come back. Even if it's a couple days later, you have to do that. One thing I want to tell you on this other side of the don'ts, of course, don't do the disappearing act. Don't post low quality photos. Don't be vague. Let people know what they're looking at because they may not know. Explain it to them. Put them in a caption. But don't underestimate your competitor's page. How many of you know you can actually spy on your competitors on Facebook? Do you know where you can do it? You know where you can do it. Where can you do it at?
Facebook.
Yeah, but how? So if you go to Insights, if you look at your Insights on Facebook and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see something that says pages to watch. Pages to watch will let you pick, I think it's up to 6 different pages that you can actually see what they're posting. You can see their analytics on what they're posting, and they never know you're spying on them. You know how I know when somebody's spying on me? My likes go up or my follows go up, but my likes don't. What am I going to do? I'm going to go and see who followed my page, and it's always a competitor. Because that's not how you do it if you're trying to be incognito. So you can follow your competitors, and let me tell you what you do. When you see a spike in something your competitor does, you better go and look and see what they did. And then you do it better. Period. Period. Because you have the same audience. You and your competitors usually have the same audience. Find out what they did when there's a spike. Look at it. Do it better every time. Okay? So engage your audience, and this is how. Create good copy. Make sure that you're writing good content. Know when to post. I'm going to tell you, just post. Just post, okay? Make sure your posts are relevant. We talked about asking questions and responding. You want to follow other pages so that you can get some really good curated content. Talked about that. Consider ads. If you have a business and you need people to see what you're doing, there's no way around it. Run ads. If you have a marketing budget, run ads. If you don't have a marketing budget, find one. Run ads. And consistency is key. Don't start posting and then you get followers and then you just disappear. Because then people don't trust you and they just think maybe that person really isn't serious about their business. Don't forget to spy. It's good though. Listen, your competitors are spying on you. They are. They're figuring out what you're doing or what you're not doing, and they're capitalizing on the customers you should have. So you better get good at it too. Best times to post. I'm gonna run through these, but I wanna say this to you. It changes. I listen to podcasts nearly every day on social media because it changes. So I'm always leery when somebody tells me they're an expert in something and you have to do it this way, because I know every month it changes. Because that is the job of these social media folks who work in these large companies, is to try to figure out how to make sure that you don't get as much reach without buying ads, okay? So I'm gonna tell you best times to post on Facebook if you're business to business, 9 a.m. and 3 to 4 p.m. If you are not posting at all, I don't care when you post. Just post. Just post. If you want to know what the best time is, you're going to have to test it. So what that means is you're going to have to do a bunch of different posts, right? And then you're going to go back and you're going to look at your analytics and see what worked best. Okay? So is it better to have 100 followers or 1,000? 100 strong ones. Thank you. I want you to not be so caught up on your followers that you forget that when people follow and like your page, all they're doing is coming and liking. If they don't come back, who cares? You want people that engage. You want people that comment. You want people that share. You want people that come back because they trust what you say. Because if they trust what you say on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, they sit somewhere like this and they tell their neighbor, I did a class with Ayana. I did coaching with her. That's what you care about, okay? So stop getting so caught up on, well, I don't have that many followers on my page. I don't care. I've got less than 300. My bank account is nice. Okay? You heard what I said? Stop being caught up on the wrong things, okay? Build your audience. Build your audience, and maybe your tribe is really small. But if my tribe is small and loyal, I don't care. I don't care, because small is mighty. My mom told me that when I was little, and I believe it. Okay? We're almost done here. Analytics don't lie. A little bit they do. I might have to change that. But I'm going to tell you that you want to aim for 3+ engagement. So when I say that, when you look at your analytics, and I hope that all of you will look at your analytics, because you don't know how your page is performing if you're not. What you do is you go and you look at your reach, okay? If it says you've got a reach of 2,300 people, you want for your engagement to be at least 3% of that. If you're doing 3+%, you're doing good, especially if you're growing organically, okay? So don't get so caught up in the numbers. You want to look at this. You want 3% plus engagement, all right? And remember, these work together. Your website and your social media pages are like husband and wife, okay? They're in some kind of committed relationship, all right? They work together, because how people search is, first I'm going to go to your website, then I'm going to go to your social pages. Or, especially if I'm a millennial, I'm going to start on your social media pages, and then I'm going to go to your website. So both need to be tight. Got it? Now, we're going to wrap up, and I'm going to ask you what you would be using to create some of this stuff, and I hope that you will go home and you'll try out some of these tools that I gave you. So if you're making a branded call to action image, what would you use? You're creating an image post. What would you use?
Canva.
Canva. Where might you get the picture from?
Splash.
Maybe you're going to use your own pictures. But if you have to use stock, you're going to use Unsplash or Pexels. You're creating some video content. What are you doing? Lumen 5, who said it? Yeah. Down, girl. I like that. Don't tell anybody who told you about it, though. Lumen 5. Fun national observances. National Day calendar. Inspirational quotes. Yep. You're going to create a GIF. That's those funny movable images, right? Yep. And what about some curated content? you go? If you want some curated content for your page, where might you go?
Where might I go?
Where might you pick up some content from?
So American Cancer Society.
Yep.
Things about diabetes,
Yep.
Association,
Absolutely. Yep.
American House.
Yep. Or good curated content from American House. Yep. Good. Somebody else. Where might you, this side of the room, where might you get some good curated
I
content?
would go through, Caregiver and.
That's right.
Things like that.
Great curated content that you did not have to create yourself. That's right. And remember all of these other really good ones. You're creating a video, don't forget your AutoCap, okay? Any questions? Jim?
If a person's just starting out in business,
Yep.
what would you recommend if it was a choice of one? A website or a Facebook page?
Definitely a website. Definitely a website, because that's still how people search. Most people search first. Most people. Because if I come to your social media page, even if it's a really good social media page, if I come there and I go to your about section because I want to find your website and you don't have one, I think you're just joking. I think you're not serious.
Alright,
Okay? Alright, so this is where you can find me. Ayana King, getmaxcoms.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. I do workshops, I do one-on-one coaching, and I would love to work with anybody really ready to reassess their marketing strategy. Listen, I thank you for your time. We've run over, but you've all given me your attention. I really appreciate it. And I didn't even take a picture. I'm not even gonna have you stay.
Okay, really quick before we go, I'm going to do a drawing for some books. We have some giveaways up here, both